fucking him up.
That's 30 seconds. Come on, man. Dog this out.
Hey, now he called me a bitch that last round. I said, okay. Okay.
Shit.
And look who's with us, the businessman himself, Keyshawn Davis. You're laughing and watching that promo. What made you laugh?
He got what he wanted.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's what he really wanted, though.
To be able to stay composed considering all the animosity you and he had.
I'm the businessman. Like, literally, that's my thing. You know, so treating it like any other fight. You know, we'll get knocked out just like everybody else.
I'm going to this city to make a point. I'm doing it in front of his family, the city.
I didn't get to stop him the first time that I fought him, so now I get a second chance to fight basically the same fighter I fought 2 years ago. He's going down.
All right, back.
What's that, 5?
6.
Coming up.
7. 6 coming up here.
Oh, ready, back 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Look, man, right now we at Angel AI, I would say conference at the Wynn Delilah's Hotel. It's like a if you know event. We know about it. It's about to go down, man. A lot of special people here tonight, including myself.
I know. Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I know I'm UFC, but I follow boxing.
Yeah, for sure.
Good luck to you, man.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations on your career.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I meant to tell you that before, but
Thank you, man.
I was a boxer first, martial artist second. So,
For real? Which one you like the most?
sport-wise,
Yeah.
it's apples and oranges.
Right.
I respect each because you're talking about the 2 weapons of Marcus Queensberry and all the skill that goes into it, and then you got over 40 weapons in the octagon.
Right.
But if a champion from the octagon goes into the champion boxing ring, he's going to lose 99% of the time.
Yep.
The same thing's going to be true in a boxing ring here.
Yep,
Unless you can
for
take
sure.
him out coming in. Like Roy Jones, I said, Roy, would you do that? He goes, I don't want to get kicked in the fucking leg.
Right.
Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet
Wish
you
all
again.
the best, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Boom, bang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Easy money. They gonna
Yeah.
start with their jab, bro. So you got good footwork. You moving.
Yeah.
You gonna be
Yeah.
moving and shit. Just blocking their jab. Boom.
Yeah.
Throw your jab. Boom. Blocking it. Moving.
Yeah.
Blocking it.
Yeah.
Then you set up. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, for sure.
You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, in the future, if y'all come in to watch, we got a charge. Yeah. We got a charge from here on out. This is some amazing stuff. It's your last round, Jermaine. We charge it from here on out. There's a fee at the door. Down goes our team. Time.
Keyshawn Davis has been killing it in the gym as he gets ready to settle the feud with Nahir Albright in their rematch scheduled May 16th at the Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. The two fought over 2 years ago in October 2023, with Davis winning by majority decision. However, the result was overturned to a no contest when Davis tested positive for marijuana. The animosity between the two didn't end there though, because last June, Davis and Albright were supposed to be on the same card. Davis had been set to headline against Edwin de los Santos for his WBO lightweight title, while Albright was supposed to face Davis's brother Kelvin, but Davis came in 4.3 pounds overweight and the fight was canceled. Albright won his fight via decision. The rematch is now being billed as Davis' revenge for his brother. While this isn't the fight many expected Keyshawn to be fighting next, it's a great fight, especially considering the dark history between these two boxers. Both fighters were recently asked about the reason behind the rematch, and both fighters had different answers.
This fight is personal. Tell us why.
To me, yes, this fight is very personal because on the biggest night of my life where I won the WBC Silver USA Championship, he came in and disrupted that. You know, I couldn't even celebrate in peace because of what happened. So this fight is definitely personal.
I think the media is trying to make it personal.
Like the only, like, I'm like, to me, like, you know, it's just another fight. It's another opportunity for me. It's another chance for me to get paid. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not taking this personal at all, honestly. Like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna stop him, and I live to fight another day.
Tell us what went down backstage after his fight against Kelvin.
You know, I was celebrating and they came into my room and everything, yeah.
Nothing really. We went home.
Keyshawn Davis says he doesn't have a grudge with Albright. He also denied having an altercation with Albright after his brother was defeated by Nahir last year. However, Nahir stood his ground that Keyshawn and his younger brother brawled with him in his locker room last June. They also bumped heads, leaving Nahir with a few bumps and bruises.
Can you explain to us what happened after the fight?
Yeah, I was in my locker room and celebrating my victory with my team. And yeah, Keyshawn and his little brother came in and they started looking at me. It's like they're saying something about his older brother, like they was mad. And he like grabbed me, pushed me back. I'm like grabbing his hand. He like moved his head towards my head. You know, felt like a little.
So you bumped heads?
Yeah, he like headbutted me. Yeah, he like headbutted me.
Oh, okay.
Can I see that?
Keyshawn did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what happened.
Regardless of whether you believe the two brawled or not, this is a great opportunity for both fighters to settle the score in a professional boxing match. Nahir Albright already made his intentions clear about the reason behind this rematch. He's not afraid of the smoke, especially after Keyshawn's latest knockout victory over Jermaine Ortiz a few months ago. Albright himself is coming off a spectacular draw against Frank Martin, and he's ready for the challenge. He also talked about fighting in Virginia, which happens to be Davis's home state. Fighting the lion in the lion's den is a challenge that Nahir Albright takes seriously.
All right, so after Frank, I guess the world was really, really high on you. Great performance, even though it resulted in a draw. And here you go back down to the lion's den. Had a victory in Virginia, dominant performance, and whatever happened afterwards is whatever happened afterwards. We ain't going to like delve too much into that. But are you crazy? I gotta ask, because that's how people feel. They're like, yo, he's going back down there again? Why?
God sending me down there. God sending me down there on a mission. And he like, I gotta answer the call. I gotta go. That's as much as I can explain it, you know what I'm saying? Go down there, complete the mission, that's it.
Was there any kind of apprehension? Like, did maybe your people want it in a different location, or then when the call came, you just said yes?
I just said yes. It don't matter where I fight the guy. The fight is gonna be a fight, regardless of where it's at.
During the interview, Albright also shed light on how the rematch will be different from his previous fight in 2023. He expressed significant confidence, stating that he is a completely different fighter this time around. Moving up to the 140-pound division, he noted that he feels much stronger and more comfortable than he did at 135. Albright highlighted that his training camp has reached a new level, with improvements made in every aspect of his preparation, while acknowledging that both he and his opponent have evolved since their first meeting. He dismissed the idea of relying solely on past tendencies. He even went so far as to predict the outcome, stating that it will be the upset of the year, viewing this fight as a crucial step towards securing a world title.
How is this fight going to differ from the first fight?
I'm a completely different fighter. It's a newer weight class. I'm stronger at 140, and the fans just gonna have to watch it play out.
You're coming off a good performance. He's coming off a dominant performance. Like I said, it's your second fight, and wait, no. You got 2 fights at 40, right? So you're both kind of new to the weight class, right? What about Wu is different at 140 than 35?
I'm stronger. They just got to wait and see.
Was it harder to make 35? Like, what I'm saying, was it starting to get hard to make 35?
I mean, I feel like I can still make 35. I feel like I can, but I'm more comfortable at 140 though.
You feel like you're starting to fill out?
Huh?
Are you starting to fill out?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
So being that, I can't necessarily call this your biggest fight because you fought him before, but you're at the precipice of a world title. A victory here will definitely secure you a world title shot.
Yeah.
Is there any changes in this camp as opposed to the other camps?
Yeah. Like, I got A-level sparring, start to finish. I just stepped it up in every aspect of training, you know. So yeah, I stepped it up.
Does now sharing the ring and knowing what his tendencies are, does that help the game plan for you?
I would say no, because I feel like we're both different fighters from the first fight. So we're just going to have to see fight night.
Let me know how that night ends.
How what?
How that night ends.
Nahir Albright. Nahir Albright, upset of the year. That's all y'all can hear. Upset of the year. Upset of the year. Upset of the year. I'm about to make history.
Will this be the defining moment in your career? Because you had good victories.
It's gonna be one of them. Yes.
One of
them.
Okay.
Because this just the starting point. This is another step forward for me. This not, it's another step forward.
Albright has high hopes of getting a world title shot, and beating Keyshawn Davis will be the first step in that direction. However, it's not going to be easy. Keyshawn Davis has been in spectacular form and has gained a reputation for his knockout power. He has been in negotiations for fights with Devin Haney. However, that fight isn't happening because Davis might not be prepared for such a massive fight so early in his career. The rematch with Albright is perfect to help him stay in shape and get more experience before he jumps into the ring against some big names. Coach Bozy Ennis echoed this in his analysis of the rematch. He praised both boxers for accepting to settle the rivalry once and for all. Ennis Sr. was clear with his analysis, stating that both fighters have been exceptional in their latest fights, which makes this rematch completely different from their first fight. He pointed out that Albright is highly underestimated, especially after his last performance against Frank Martin. He felt that Nahir would have gotten the knockout if he worked a little harder on finishing off Martin. He stated that Albright likes to take his time and look for openings to finish off his opponents with the jab.
Albright, Keyshawn Davis rematch. It looked like we might have gotten Africa versus Keyshawn or Devin versus Keyshawn, but I ain't even gonna lie. I want this fight. This is a good fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight, man. You know what I mean? Both of them can fight, man. They both can fight, man. You know what I mean? Now you're gonna really see who's the best. Now, the first fight was a good fight. You know what I mean? But I think this fight gonna be a different fight this time. You know what I mean? Well, Wu already know how Keyshawn coming now. You know what I mean? Once you fight somebody the first time, you know what to expect the second time. You know what I mean? And I think that's the way it's going to be. It's going to be a difficult fight. It ain't going to be no easy fight. You know what I mean? You see when he just fought Frank?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, Wu ain't nothing to play with, man. He's nothing to play with. Keyshawn is a good fighter too, though. But I'm just saying, it's going to be a good fight.
It seemed like Wu always gets underestimated.
Yeah.
And then he heads into these fights and then he has these moments.
That's right.
And where it's like, oh shit. I thought he was gonna stop Frank.
Yeah, me too. You know what I mean? Frank would start getting happy because he was doing good the first few rounds. Then Wu start picking up. You know what I mean? Doing his thing, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes Wu wait too long. You gotta get that jab going. Other than that, though, Wu, hey.
Bozy also had some advice for Nahir Albright going into the rematch. He shared a blueprint that could help him get the better of a more experienced Keyshawn Davis.
Now, this fight isn't at 35, it's at 40.
40, okay.
So what does Wu have to do differently in this fight to where as though, I know you said he starts slow, but what does he have to do differently to have success?
Well, like I said, everything Wu should be doing should be behind the jab, man. You know what I mean? Box. Give them angles. See, most of them guys, when they be fighting them guys right in front of them. You know what I mean? The move got to move. Box and move. You know what I mean? Make it difficult for anybody. You know what I mean?
Bernie the Boxer, who happens to be a massive fan of the Virginia boxer, wasn't thrilled that Davis chose to fight Albright. He described it as a step back for Davis. While he maintains respect and love for Davis, he believes the fight is primarily being driven by the industry's desire for sensationalism and storylines rather than sporting merit. He acknowledged that the fight offers a significant opportunity and payday for Albright, but he hopes that once the business is handled in the ring, any lingering animosity can be deaded and put to rest.
May 16th, Norfolk, Virginia, Keyshawn Davis, Albright 2.
Yeah,
Nahir Albright 2, the
yeah,
rematch. And then you're also going to be having Brian Norman Jr., the former welterweight WBO champion, fighting on the co-main event as well. I mean, what you think
yeah.
about the news?
Well, first of all, like I say, I want to let everybody know that I'm a huge fan of Keyshawn Davis. I got a lot of love for him. You know, the whole DB3. You know, we spent a lot of years together, at least 5 years together, and you know, so I got a lot of love for Keyshawn Davis, and mean him no harm in no situation. You know, I only can speak my truth, and so I just want to give that as a disclaimer first for anybody try to scratch anything from this video. But I was kind of disappointed when I heard the news. I feel like I would like to see that situation go away, but with the sensationalism and the times of today, you know, they want to keep that story going somehow, or to try to, you know, dig in the hat to try to find some type of something to
Storyline.
yeah, yeah. So I was kind of disappointed in that fight, but uh, it is the fight is going to happen. Hopefully, the things can be put to rest. You know, after the fact, you know, maybe Albright can, once those guys handle their business again, they can whatever supposed animosity, or if there is really ill animosity, you know, they can dead it. You know, it can just be deaded. You know, we all lose our way sometimes, and you know, get out of our body, you know, sometimes. So we get emotional, we react, and you know, hopefully we, you know, each all can be forgiven after this, and each can go. For Albright is great because he's coming off a big fight with Frank Martin, you
A
know, and
draw.
he's going, yeah, but a big fight.
Hmm.
I'm not talking about the result. It was a big fight, and now he's in a big fight with Keyshawn Davis. So, you know, the checks is growing for him, the publicity is going for him, and he has a chance to, you know, upset the apple cart. It's going to be a tall task, but you know, he still has that opportunity. So, um, you know, of course, I'm going to tune in and watch because Keyshawn is a must-see type of fighter, and so shout out to both of those guys, and hopefully they can bury the hatchet after this.
You can make out the disappointment in Bernie's voice. After calling out the likes of Devin Haney and other big names, Davis had to take such a massive step back and visit a feud that should have been buried by now. Even Bernie feels that bringing up the feud between the two boxers doesn't feel right. He wants to see Davis move ahead in his career, and even suggested that Frank Martin was the right opponent for his next fight.
Hear Keyshawn screaming all the big names, all the champions, even guys like Devin Haney. But in the same time, a guy that he's already beat, he beat Jermaine Ortiz, stopped him in the 10th round. Jermaine
Mhm.
Ortiz also beat Albright. And, you know, when you look at it, do you feel like this is a step down in competition?
I thought it was a step back. You know, I thought it was a step back. And again, I'm not. This is not a diss to Keyshawn Davis as a boxing fan. I thought it was a step back. Me and my friend, my partner, we was actually we was chopping it up about it, and he was telling me all the things that they are promoting now. But then I heard Timothy Bradley, and I sent it to him. Timothy Bradley made a video about it, and I sent it to him. You know, and so that's just the way I was feeling. I would have rather see him against Frank Martin. You know, myself. They both coming off a draw, but he haven't got in the ring with Frank Martin. And again, with the controversy that they had with Albright, I would just want to stop bringing that shit up. You know, let's just leave that alone. We don't want to keep rehashing that. You know, but um, for sensationalism, you know, And I don't want to say money in terms of dollars, but like I'm saying, the sensationalism, the storyline, people will, the industry, um, things of that nature will do whatever they have to, whatever, put asses in seats or to make a dollar or to get people talking, whatever it is, So substance is not valuable in society right now.
Shockingly, Keyshawn Davis himself isn't happy that he's fighting Nahir Albright next after all the big names he could have fought. He empathized with his fans, agreeing that this is an underwhelming fight to take after he called out the likes of Devin and Ryan Garcia. Keyshawn had an explanation for accepting the Albright rematch, putting the blame on Top Rank for pushing him in this rematch since they liked the storyline. He also stated that he was negotiating with Oscar Duarte and 2 other names, but they didn't reply back. Davis stated that he follows his promotion and is ready to fight the opponents they suggest.
Keyshawn, man, May 16th, rematch with Nahir Albright. He should talked to him earlier this week. He said, "Be ready." He feels like he's coming to Norfolk, do the upset, saying all the right things. But what do you say to him saying, "Be ready" and all that?
That's what everybody say, man. They supposed to promote themselves. I don't really want no opponent that comes in there and just be like, just gonna lay down. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was earlier in my career. Like, every fight I should fight right now, they should be coming confident, more than prepared. So he's saying all the right things for sure.
I understand for a minute now you've been talking about getting that rematch since he fought Kelvin, but a lot of the fans, they're saying Keyshawn was calling out Devin, he was calling out Ryan, all the big names, and it winds up being Nahir Albright. Some of them feel like that's underwhelming for the level you've been fighting at right now. What do you say to that, Keyshawn?
I feel like I agree. Going into this fight, I wanted to fight Oscar Duarte, and we was pushing for Oscar Duarte, but he had other plans, I guess. And I pushed for other 2 fighters as well, but Top Rank insisted on me fighting Nahir Albright because they love the story. Keyshawn, the 2 times that I went to Norfolk, Virginia, I chose Limos and I chose De Los Santos. So Top Rank wanted this fight, so I followed my promotion.
Regardless of whether you think this is a bad fight for Davis, the rematch remains an exciting prospect for Keyshawn, who is fighting only months after his spectacular win over Ortiz. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this fight. Do you think this is a great fight for Keyshawn Davis? Can Nahir Albright cause an upset this Saturday? Let me know in the comments. That's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned and we will catch you in the next video.